Never in a million years did I think that I would have to make a video about this. Talking bad about Dave Grohl, that's unheard of until now. In case you missed it, Dave posted on his Instagram that he has a child out of wedlock and he is currently trying to earn the trust and forgiveness of his family. In other words, Big Bro cheated. And obviously this took a lot of people by surprise, so let's get into it. First and foremost, let me just say, as someone who has experienced this type of thing, and I think that's part of the reason why I want to make a video on this, is because it does hit home so hard. But as someone who has lived this, I don't think I have a sibling out there. I don't think. Dave will never be able to get their trust back, at least to how it was before. It'll get better, but it will never be as it was. When a parent hurts you in that way, someone who is supposed to look out for you and take care of you, and someone you kind of, as a kid, you grow up viewing these people as gods. Your parents is like the all-knowing, they will never do you wrong. And then when you grow up and realize that this person is just a person, and then they hurt you in such a deep way that not only makes you look at them in a different light, but also coming to terms with your family's broken. Your family will never be the same. It's now torn apart. That kind of hurts. It is very deep. It is honestly one of the worst types of pain that I've ever had to deal with. And I've gotten better with it, but it's not the same at all. And I don't think that Dave's daughters will ever feel the same about him, and my heart hurts for them, truly. I think when I first found out about this, I think that's why I felt so deeply about it, because I know what it's like to be in their position, and it sucks. And I also think it would suck being in that situation and seeing how other people react to it. Because me in this situation, it is the worst. Your whole life changes. And seeing people online just be like, and the world kept spinning, who cares? Why does this bother people? He could have done much worse. I would feel a bit crappy about that if I was in Dave's daughter's position. And I think Dave's daughters did actually delete their social media, and I don't blame them, because I would not want to see that sort of thing. Not only would that suck from their perspective, but I think it also shows like a very weird facet of our society lately. It's just a thing. Like, somebody can have like thoughts and commentary on something, and then normally the response is, it's not that deep, bro. Our society nowadays is against critical thinking and empathy, and it's very scary. Like, yes, Dave cheating on his wife doesn't affect us any, but there is this thing called empathy where you can kind of feel for someone's situation without it directly affecting you. Basic human emotion type thing. I don't think it's bizarre or weird for someone to feel bad for Dave's family. I think that's kind of the normal reaction to have to that. I think we should feel bad for them, because this is definitely a bad situation, even though I recognize that rock stars can do a lot worse, and they have done a lot worse. Which is another thing that I've been seeing a lot of the reaction is, well, he's a rock star. This is like expected, because rock stars do bad things. And I'm rocking Black Sabbath right now. Surely Ozzy Osbourne has done his fair share of bad things. And yes, rock stars do have that reputation, but this often reminds me of the boys will be boys kind of excuse. Just because rock stars are associated with doing bad things does not mean that that thing that they did isn't bad. Like, that doesn't lessen the blow any, especially when you consider Dave's reputation before all of this. Now, if you are in the rock scene, or basically the music scene, you've definitely heard of Dave Grohl before, and his reputation of being the nicest guy in rock, which I understand is kind of like being the skinniest kid at fat camp, but this guy had a good reputation. He was often seen as a saint. He was the guy that had it all. He was a rock star, he made all of this money, and it seemed like he was a down-to-earth, nice guy. A lot of people looked up to him not only for his music, but who he was as a person. To suddenly have that reputation taken away from him, and you kind of see the reality of this person we idolize so much, and then have that devastating blow of realizing they're just a person. I feel like people are allowed to be disappointed by that. Even though there's this awareness of, people are people, even celebrities, I still think having like direct confirmation that he did a bad thing is humanizing, to say the least. And I have seen people like, well, wait until you find out about Tommy Lee, or insert pretty much any rock star here. I think the difference in that is that you kind of knew who they were from the start. If Tommy Lee cheated on his wife, you wouldn't be too surprised by that. But from a guy who was supposed to be this nice dude, it's a bit more shocking, and I don't blame people or fans being disappointed in that. You know what they say, never meet your heroes. He might be a cheater. Here is kind of the main takeaways apologies that I want to make with this video. Do I think that this will damage Dave's career? No, not at all. He'll still be a millionaire, he'll still have fans, he's gonna be fine. But at the same time, I don't think that we should be excusing this behavior or just throwing the rock star label on it and being like, that's just what they do. I think that we can recognize the situation that his family is in and not shame people for understanding that this is a crappy situation, even though he technically could have done worse. I think it's important to recognize while we may not be going through it personally and we may not see it as a big deal, to the Grohl family, it is a big deal, and they are going through a lot right now. And I don't think it's something that we should be swiping under the rug. My heart goes out to his daughters, especially, but for the entire family. Again, I know what it's like to be in this situation, and it sucks. And it sucks that this type of news comes out, and I have to make these types of videos. If Dave Grohl can cheat, it's every man. Every man's a cheater. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Maybe. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe, and as always, I will see you in the next one.